What if I told you the secret to an unbelievably vibrant garden isn't in a bottle, but in something you've probably been throwing away? Prepare to be amazed as we unveil the hidden potential of everyday tree bark. This isn't just composting, it's a deep dive into cultivating a thriving microbial ecosystem that will revolutionize your garden from the roots up. Beneath our feet lies an invisible universe teeming with billions of microorganisms, each playing a crucial role in plant health and soil vitality. You know, most of us just walk past fallen tree bark without even realizing that we're looking at microbial gold just waiting to be unlocked. Ancient civilizations, well, they understood this intuitively. They were fermenting organic matter to enrich their soils long before we had any scientific explanations for why it worked so beautifully. Modern gardening, somehow, has lost touch with this microbial dimension. It's focusing instead on quick fixes and synthetic solutions that often disrupt the very ecosystems our plants depend on. Tree bark, especially when it's bio-fermented, really represents a return to these time-tested principles, all while making use of our current understanding of soil science. The fibrous structure of bark, creates just the right conditions for beneficial microbes to establish their colonies, plus, its slow decomposition provides sustained nutrition for both soil organisms and plants. Different tree species, well, they offer unique microbial profiles in their bark. Oak bark, for instance, tends to foster tannin-loving bacteria that are just great at nutrient cycling. While pine bark, on the other hand, encourages fungi that form these crucial mycorrhizal partnerships with plant roots. Even fruit tree bark carries specialized microorganisms that, can enhance disease resistance in your garden plants. Biofermentation, well, it transforms ordinary tree bark into a powerhouse of beneficial microorganisms through controlled decomposition. This process breaks down complex lignins and cellulose into simpler compounds that plants can readily absorb, while, at the same time, creating ideal conditions for beneficial bacteria, fungi, and other microorganisms to multiply exponentially. So the fermentation process begins when you combine shredded or chopped bark with water and, a carbohydrate source like molasses or brown sugar. This actually creates an anaerobic environment where beneficial lactobacilli and other fermenting bacteria can really thrive. These microorganisms go on to produce organic acids that lower pH, suppress harmful pathogens, and, well, release nutrients that are locked within the bark's cellular structure. So the result is a living soup of beneficial microbes and bioavailable nutrients. Temperature plays a crucial role in this process. Maintaining temperatures between 80 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit accelerates fermentation, while also ensuring the right microbial populations dominate. You'll know the fermentation is working when the mixture develops a pleasant, slightly sour smell, kinda like a sourdough starter. This means that healthy lactic acid bacteria are establishing dominance over potentially harmful microorganisms. So, the fermentation period usually lasts anywhere from 2 to 4 weeks, and it really depends on the type of bark you're using and, the environmental conditions. Hardwood barks like maple and oak, well, they tend to ferment a bit more slowly because of their dense structure. On the other hand, softer barks like those from fruit trees or birch can finish fermenting much more quickly. During this fermentation window, the microbial population can actually increase by millions of times, creating a super concentrated inoculant that will, honestly, make a huge difference in your soil's biological activity. Once your bark fermentation is finished, you've got a few different ways to use it that can really transform your garden's microbial landscape. The most powerful method is to strain out the liquid portion and make what's called a concentrated microbial tea. This amber-colored elixir can be diluted at a ratio of 1 to 10 with water. and you can apply it straight to the soil, or even use it as a foliar spray during the cooler parts of the day. For direct soil application, you'll want to work the fermented bark solids into your garden beds at a rate of about 2 inches deep around existing plants, or you can mix it into new planting areas. It's a pretty straightforward process that brings a lot of benefits to your soil. The physical bark pieces, continue decomposing slowly, which provides a long-term microbial habitat and gradual nutrient release. This method works exceptionally well in perennial beds and around fruit trees where you're looking for that sustained biological activity over time. Container gardeners, listen up. It's possible to create some potent potting mix amendments by combining fermented bark with coconut coir or peat moss. It's a simple way to boost your container plant's health and vigor. The enhanced microbial activity in containers creates better drainage, nutrient cycling, and root health than traditional potting soils. Many growers report dramatically improved plant vigor and reduced watering needs when using bark-fermented amendments. Timing applications strategically, really maximizes the benefits. Early spring applications jumpstart soil biology as temperatures warm, while fall applications help break down garden debris and prepare beds for winter. During the growing season, monthly applications of diluted fermented bark tea maintain high microbial populations that support continuous nutrient availability and natural pest suppression. The visual results often appear within just a few weeks. Plants develop deeper green foliage, more robust root systems, and increased resistance to environmental stresses. Over time, you'll notice the soil structure really improves, becoming more crumbly and able to hold water better. Many gardeners, actually see earthworm populations just explode in those treated areas, which is a great sign of healthy soil biology. Bio-fermented tree bark, honestly, it opens the door to this broader philosophy of waste-to-resource gardening, and that can totally revolutionize how we think about organic matter. Stuff like kitchen scraps, grass clippings, autumn leaves, and even paper products. They can all go through similar fermentation processes to create these specialized microbial inoculants for different garden needs. This whole approach, it really lines up perfectly with sustainable gardening principles because you're reducing waste streams while building soil health without relying on outside inputs. Instead of buying those pricey biological amendments, you're actually making even better products from materials that would otherwise just decompose slowly in landfills or burn piles. The process, honestly, becomes a closed-loop system, where your garden's waste products turn into its greatest assets. Community gardens and neighborhood groups can totally establish shared fermentation systems, pooling organic materials and sharing the resulting microbial wealth. This collaborative approach, builds both soil health and community connections while reducing individual workload and maximizing resource efficiency. The techniques also scale beautifully from small urban gardens to larger agricultural operations. Market gardeners using bio-fermented amendments report reduced fertilizer costs, improved crop quality, and better customer satisfaction with produce flavor and shelf life. The enhanced soil biology creates more resilient growing systems that perform better during challenging weather conditions. Research continues revealing new applications for fermented organic matter in plant health. Scientists are discovering specific microbial strains that enhance particular plant varieties' performance. And honestly, this suggests we may eventually customize fermentation recipes for targeted garden goals like increased fruit production, enhanced disease resistance, or improved stress tolerance. Bio-fermented tree bark represents more than just another gardening technique. It's a gateway to understanding your garden as a living ecosystem where every element contributes to the whole. The enhanced plant immunity, reduced dependency on synthetic fertilizers, and increased soil fertility are just the beginning of what becomes possible when you work with natural biological processes. This journey into soil microbiology connects you directly to the fundamental processes that sustain all terrestrial life. Every handful of fermented bark contains more living organisms than there are people on Earth, each playing specialized roles in nutrient cycling, disease suppression, and plant communication. By fostering these microscopic communities, you become a steward of biodiversity at its most essential level. The beauty of this approach lies in its accessibility and scalability. Whether you're tending a few containers on a balcony or managing acres of growing space, bio-fermented bark can enhance your soil's biological potential using materials that cost nothing but time and attention. Ready to transform your garden from the ground up? Start collecting bark from your yard or local area today, and begin your first fermentation batch this week. Your plants will thank you with unprecedented vigor and resilience. Don't forget to subscribe to the Living Soil Lab for more innovative techniques that harness nature's wisdom, and share this guide with fellow gardeners ready to discover the hidden power of microbes. Together, we're cultivating a more vibrant, sustainable future, one garden at a time.